Welcome back and thanks for joining me today. I have a special gift for you, and this one's an excellent example of perfection within a game. Aim for the Ace has slight problems here and there, but that's not going to touch the value of the game at all. It's a game that any hardcore gamer needs to get into. For this review, I merely played a match of tennis because the story plot is not very special, and it's just like every other anime or manga. Yeah, just like that. Except more cheesy and less violent, so not that good. As you can see, the graphics itself just excel this game into greatness. I mean, just the look of it, everything kind of moves and flows realistically. I mean, it's just a beautiful game all around. And I was surprised because I've seen a lot of tennis games and none of them look half as good as this. Before we get into too many of the positive parts of this game, let's hit the negatives real quick. First off, the music is like any other tennis game. It's that cheesy, really horrible music you hear. I wish I could have shown you, but I don't know. I'm kind of messing up, and all my craps. I'm not getting the sound, so I guess I'll deal with that later. But as anyone knows, whoever played a tennis game, it's that cheesy same thing that they've been playing since the NES, all the way up until even the freaking Xbox and 360 and all that other stuff. And while you're playing the tennis game, like in every other tennis game, there's no sound. There's no music. It's just the sound of the tennis balls going back and forth, and that weird guy always saying those numbers, saying the score. And beyond the cheesy story, and it's all right, but beyond the cheesy story, there's not much wrong about this game. This is a worthwhile game all over the place. The sad fact is it only came out in Japan, but I guess what are you gonna do, huh? Get a ROM. Now let's talk about the controls. Now for this game, it was beautifully developed on the fact that it's got a short time delay, but it's perfect on the fact that it's realistic. And now as you've been watching the movie, you've been seeing me getting thrashed rather easily. And this is because the graphics and the controls work so perfectly together that it makes it almost realistic. Like, I love tennis, and I'm not very good at it, and just like this, it's very hard to connect the ball in the way you just want it to. And so you think you're gonna hit the ball so many times, and you're gonna miss it, and it makes you frustrated. But then you realize that it's just more beautiful that way, and it's fun. It's an incredibly fun game to play. And in most other tennis games, you have this problem where you always overhit the ball, and there's nothing keeping you from holding back. And it's like you're just trying to hit the ball, you're just trying to serve it, and it just keeps going across that line. It makes you mad. This game, you rarely will ever hit that ball over the line. I've done it once before, but I mean, it was somehow I don't even know. It was probably by fluke that it happened, and it was just kind of weird how every other game was like. I see how that could, like, you'd put that in because it's realistically you will overhit it in real life, but it's one of those things where it just takes away from the gameplay and makes it less fun and less playable, and that's the real sad thing of it. And the more you progress through the game, and the more you learn the controls, and the better you get, overall the gameplay actually improves on the fact that now you have better competition because the computer progresses fairly well throughout the game. And it starts out being incredibly difficult, and even though the better you get and the more improved you get, they still get harder, and that's why I think it makes the best game, is that it's hard throughout the entire game, but yet still fun enough to make it so that no matter what, you're not going to stop. There is one thing that does bother me throughout this entire game. Every time you miss a ball, it shows your face, and the sad thing is, you only have these two really creepy looking eyes. Look at that. It's weird. And that just, it messes with me the entire time. It's like, why does everything look so amazing, and yet we can't even put a nose on this face? But you can't have it all. I mean, it is a 16-bit system, so what are you gonna do? But the game looks beautiful. The sound is actually pretty good, but I mean, it's the bland tennis sound that you get. And everything kind of all pans out to just, you got to feel the controls and feel how amazing the controls are, because there's not much better than these controls. I mean, arguably Contra, they might even be up in the level of Contra. Thanks for joining me today and listening to my babbling. I hope you enjoyed yourself because I know I did. This has been That ROM Guy presenting Aim for the Ace, and I hope to see you next time. Later.